You're tuned in to the TRB Morning Drive, where we kickstart your day with a dose of freedom, firearms, and just the right amount of fun. Now grab your favorite liquid caffeine fix and buckle up. It's time to get this show on the road. Here's your host.
Good morning, Rogue Nation. It's Tuesday, July 15th, and apparently it's National Gummi Worm Day. Hey, look, if this is not the perfect metaphor for 2025, I don't know what it is. It dangles something sweet, may it look harmless, but before you know it, you're chewing on something you just didn't ask for. Welcome to the Morning Drive, where firearms, freedom, and a little bit of frustration collide. You know, about this Gummi Worm Day, it sounds like a made-up holiday because, well, it is, right? I mean, we've got so many of these made-up holidays, but think about it. Gummi worms are sweet, colorful, and totally fake, which makes it the perfect mascot for modern government messaging. You ever notice how new restrictions start with, "This is for your own good"? It's never bold, never honest, and it's always dipped in sugar and wrapped with a grin. Like, hey, we're not taking your freedom. We're just adding a little bit of common sense. That's right, guys. Gummi worms. That's all they're doing. That's what they're feeding us. They got this sugar-coated goo. Don't get me wrong, man. I do like gummi worms. But let's call it out for what it is. They don't hand you, something nutritious, right? They give you something that's chewy, it's squishy. And like the regulation, once it's swallowed, good luck choking that thing back up. It just is not going to happen. They tell you it's harmless. They say it's just a small thing, or it's for the good of the people. And before you know it, you're tangled up in red tape while they're patting themselves on the back for keeping you safe from them. They don't need tanks. They've got technocrats with clipboards and candy-coated marketing campaigns. It's not about health. It's about safety. And it sure as hell is not about freedom. It's about seeing how many political gummi worms they can feed you before you stop asking, what is this? Remember the words of Nancy Pelosi. We have to pass this bill so you can find out what's in it. Well, why do I got to wait until you pass a bill before I can find out what's going on and how this is going to affect me? I mean, really, this is how much audacity they have, is that they're just going to pass it and then you're going to find out. Well, why can't I find out before? And then you talk about these huge bills. These guys, they don't read them, right? I mean, there's so much crap in them, they don't read it. I don't have the patience or the time to go through the big, beautiful bill. And trust me, I'm sure there's a lot of crap hidden in that too, right? I mean, it's not all for me. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they got some stuff in there that I don't like, but they know that I'm not going to sit there and read a 900-page bill. And how do they read these things in time to vote for it, right? I mean, seriously, there's no way, there's no human that can get through that all the way. So they're not reading this stuff, they're just passing it. So we got 4 people online. Sorry, I'm still trying to see what we've got going on here. We've got 2 people over on Rumble, and are we still live on YouTube? Let's take a look, because YouTube's been a little bit of a challenge lately. Yeah, looks like we still are live on YouTube. So we'll see how long that one lasts. I had a good talk with a friend of the channel, Clover Tech. over the weekend, and we were talking about the live streaming issues we've been having over on YouTube, and he thinks he's got this one figured out for me. I think it was the intro of all things. But it's funny. So I would get the videos taken down, and they'd say, "Hey, at this timestamp, you violated policy, but there might be other violations too." So they never really tell you, right? I mean, this is the stuff that I have to fight all the time. And you'd go there, and it's like the policy they kept on saying is that I was either handling or transporting a firearm on a live. Well, none of that was happening. And I just couldn't figure it out. I challenged it, lost the challenge. I went to secondary, to escalate it, and just like instantly denied. Right? I mean, they weren't even going to look at it. And I've been able to do this in the past, but never with a live. I've never had problems with lives because I just don't do a whole lot of lives. And so I was texting with CloverTac, and he was looking at it, and he thinks it was the intro. So in the intro, there was a slow motion video of me shooting one of my rifles, and it was getting flagged for handling a firearm on a live. Even though I was not handling a firearm, the AI couldn't figure it out and flagged it. So I was like, wow, that's like in the first 20 seconds of the show. And it's kind of funny thinking about this, right? Because I'm like, if that's in the first 20 seconds of the show, how are we, how am I getting flagged at like 5 minutes and 2 minutes? And that's how much time. I was thinking about this last night. That's how much time it takes their AI to catch up to a live stream to see what's going on to flag it. So even though I'm already like 5 minutes into the live stream, it's finally just starting to catch it and flag it and take it down. So we are still live on YouTube. So CloverTac man, thank you so much. We'll see if that keeps this thing rolling. So let's see here. As you can see, the studio is a mess. Let's face it, it's just the way it is. We've been doing I've been doing a lot of work here in the studio. You've seen my videos. You'll see pegboard, right? So the pegboard was actually like right over here. That is all now this French cleat system. You'll actually see some stuff missing over here. So we've been building out more French cleat and getting the studio really dialed in on storage because I've got a lot of stuff. I've got to do a lot of storage for that stuff. So getting things organized so that way it's not a complete mess. We do have a deep cleaning video that I'm working on. It's pretty interesting. If you can see the community tab over in YouTube, what's weird is that they took that down and put it into the app. Don't know why they did it, but suddenly it's back on the thing. I don't know if they had a glitch or something, or maybe they were testing things and it just didn't work out well. So I put a couple of pictures out on the community tab of a little bit of stuff that you just don't see in the video. It's a little bit of the cleanup, if you will. So we do have some new content coming out. I got a lot of stuff that I want to get filmed, and sorry, man, somebody getting ready to get into a fight. You know how they say you get an itchy nose, you're going to get into a fight. Well, guess I got a fight coming up. So let's go back to the main points of the show here. It's really sweet compliance. This is the part that they don't teach in civics class, and I'm not even sure they teach civics anymore. I don't know. I mean, they teach a lot of other things in school, not necessarily for the good, not necessarily for the good of the child, or even really for the good of the country. Because if they really did stuff that was, good for the country and good for the kids, and they taught civics, we might start asking too many questions. That next generation might ask too many questions. And God knows the politicians don't want that, right? They don't want you asking questions. They just want you compliant. They'll say it's just a permit. But then you'll wait 9 months like you're applying for a passport to a war zone. And then if you dare ask a question about like where this is, you're the problem, not the system. They'll say it's just insurance. But it costs, the cost makes it feel more like a right than a privilege. It makes your right feel more like a privilege, right? It's not a protection. They'll say it's just training, but suddenly it's only available to a class 200 miles away, trained by a retired mall cop in a strip mall dojo with no air conditioning. And when you speak up, you're not informed. You're not concerned, and you're branded as an extremist. Because it's just common sense, right? Here's a real play. They wrap restriction in reasonableness. They bury delay in paperwork. They disguise disarmament as public safety. It's not a theory. It's the triangle of passive disarmament in action. 1 point delays your access. The next point prices you out. The third one determines your confidence, undetermines your confidence, and turns your neighbors against you. They're not storming your house. They're sanding down your rights, one gummy worm at a time. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you may have missed this concept on the July 8th episode. That was one that they cut the stream about 5 minutes in. So here's your invite. For those on YouTube there, this is a new concept for you. Catch the full breakdown on Rumble. I have that. The Rumble stream was live the whole time. Even the stream out to Facebook. Yes, we are actually streaming this out to Facebook too. They still ran. Or point your favorite podcast app to For the Love of Guns. That's my podcast. So go check that out and learn up a little bit on this whole triangle of passive disarmament. Now, you've heard me talk a little bit about the trifecta of social gun control. The two kind of mesh together, and I go through that in that episode, so make sure you check that out. Because look, they don't want you to hear at all. They don't want you thinking. But it's probably the exact thing that you need to do or that you need to hear. If this message is hitting a nerve, great. It means you're awake. Now, if you want to keep it alive, we've got a couple of ways for you to do it. First of all, go to trb.fyi, which is my webpage, /boombucks, and toss some change into the fight. This movement doesn't run on likes and algorithms, though they help a lot. It runs on people who give a damn. If that's you, lean in, don't sit back. Second way that you can support the mission is actually for free. Head over to my website, trb.fyi/az, before you go shopping on Amazon. Small portion of your purchase will come back to the show at no extra cost to you. That's right. Amazon pays, not you. If you don't go to that website before you go to Amazon, they just make more money. Wouldn't you like a little bit of money going to the fight that you want fought? And hey, look, we are always appreciative to those who make sure this show is locked and loaded. Aegis Gun Care. Go to my website at trb.fyi/boomlube to learn more about Aegis Gun Care. And also the crew over at Gideon Optics, man. I've known these guys for a long time. Great guys, way even before Gideon Optics was a thing. So learn more about those guys. Head over to my webpage at trb.fyi/go, G-O. You'll learn all about those companies. If you like companies that walk the walk for 2A folks like us, give them a look, because they help us keep this mic hot and the message moving. Look, this is your wake-up call. You're not overreacting. You're just paying attention. Because the real threat isn't that they're going to kick down your door tomorrow. It's that they'll make you feel like locking it in the first place was an overreaction. I mean, we've been hearing word out of California. I haven't actually done a deep dive into it, but we're hearing now that even in California, they don't want you shooting the criminal inside your house. I mean, we always kind of knew that. I mean, when I lived in Maryland, so that was back in the 90s, it was if you shot an intruder in your house, and this came from a lawyer. This was from a class that we took. If an intruder broke into your house and you shot them, you had better been like in the far corner of your house, down deep into the bottom corner, cowering and shooting them. And even then, you're probably going to get charged. You're in your own house. Someone broke in and threatened your life. You defended it all the way down to the last possible second before you squeeze that trigger. You did everything you possibly could. You're still going to get charged. That's the way they want it. They want you to be a victim. Even if you lock that door, let's get into the lawsuits. A criminal breaks into your house and hurts themselves, and they can sue you. You're designed to be the victim. The system doesn't need to ban your rights outright. It just needs to question whether you should have them in the first place. Red flag laws. If you carry, they'll call it propaganda or paranoia. If you train, they call it dangerous. If you speak up, you're the problem. That's not by accident, that's by design. It's the way they want it. They'll chip away at your confidence until silence feels safer than resistance. But silence is surrender. So stay sharp, stay loud, and never apologize for being prepared, skeptical. Wow, so I'm having a hard time today. Skeptical or free. It's not extremism. It's responsibility. And around here, we don't do quiet compliance. We do unapologetic independence. What's so funny is that they yell and scream that we're the extremists when we speak up. It's so funny when they do the exact same thing, but yet they're the ones in the right. When they yell and scream, it's perfectly normal. When we do, we're extremists. We're wackos. We're not the ones burning cities down. I mean, people like me, we just want to be left alone, right? I mean, I don't care whether you think there's 500 genders. I don't care who you love. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to live my life. Don't force it on me. Just let me live my life the way I want to live it, where I'm not hurting someone. I'll do the same thing to you as long as you're not hurting someone. I don't need to be involved in your life, and you don't need to be involved in mine. Just keep fighting that fight. You know what? It's funny. Every once in a while, I get a little lazy with my concealed carry. I'll admit it. I don't carry it all the time. Sometimes it's just I just don't feel like carrying. Right? It's hot out. It's hard to conceal. I've got my ultra concealed carry firearm. My small gun that I can fit in just about everything. And it was funny. I put that on the other day, and I hadn't been carrying for a while, and it felt a little weird, mostly because it's an older gun in an older holster. They don't even make the gun anymore. No, nobody makes a holster for that gun. Um, so I was thinking it was I got to start carrying again. So I did, right. So over the weekend I was carrying this gun, and it got me thinking about we have this just this once effect, and it hit me. I'll be totally honest, it hit me. Just this once, I'm not going to carry. But then it turned into just this once again and again. And probably I hadn't carried in like a week and a half, but just this once. Just this once, you'll leave your carry piece at home because it was inconvenient. It was for me. Just this once, you'll nod and smile when your neighbor says nobody needs an AR. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but I know a lot of people would, right? I mean, a little different in my neighborhood and where I live. But think about that. You felt uncomfortable. You just this once, you're just going to let it go because you didn't feel like engaging in that fight. Just this once, you stay quiet at work when someone calls gun owners dangerous. Um, Now, I will admit, the work one gets a little weird. It does. I did call someone out a couple of years ago at my day job. I just got sick of them bashing. I called them out, and it was funny. Okay, didn't have that problem. And I don't really talk politics. I don't really talk firearms at work. Like, I mean, I do to certain people if they bring it up, but I don't like actively bring it up, right? If you want to come into my world, fine. You started this. And that's what happened at work. This person started it. I finished it. I finished it in front of a lot of people, and it was really quick. So just this once turns into just one more time. Don't let it turn into that just that one more time. I'm not saying don't pick your battles, right? I mean, definitely pick your battles. Definitely choose how you're going to fight them. But fight them on your terms, not on someone else. Don't let that become just one more time. Because this is exactly how they're eroding our rights. They're planning on these just one more time. Before long, it's not a decision, it becomes a habit. A week and a half, I didn't carry my firearm. It started becoming a habit. It became a habit for me to not work out, and I ballooned up to 286 pounds. And now I'm fighting to get out of that habit. Habits, the wrong habits will hurt you. The wrong habits will erode your rights. You stop standing your ground because you believe they're right. Because it's easier to just let it slide. Now, I'm not saying because they're right because they're eroding your rights. I'm thinking because they're right because, hey, this food is healthy. It's not, man. It's processed crap. Trust me. I lived it. I'm trying to fight through it. Stand your ground. Be educated. Learn. Grow your own food if you can. Honestly, um, I'm not saying that you're going to be completely independent. That's why I had the Undependent podcast, right? And it's long overdue for me to do an episode on that. Um, the Undependent podcast, that's the reason why I said it was undependent, not independent. Um, because I don't believe someone can be completely independent, but you can become undependent, not dependent on the system, or less dependent on the system. So learn where you're going to do your battles, learn where you're going to fight. Just learn anything. Silence becomes default, and silence becomes surrender. The culture war isn't fought in grand speeches. It's fought in awkward moments at the dinner table, at the office, at the hardware store, with your neighbors. Look, you don't need to be an ass. Let them be the ass. Just choose how you're going to fight this. Because what's so funny is they want you to get pissed. They want you to lose control. Because when you lose control, again, you're the wacko with a gun. And that's how they justify it. It's so much fun when you get into an argument and the other person gets pissed off because they can't get the rise out of you. That's what they want. They want you pissed off. They want you out of control because you're going to say something stupid, you're going to do something stupid, or you're just going to look stupid. Turn the tables. Let them be the ones. We don't need to have fights to have disagreements. It's okay to disagree with each other. It's okay to have a different point of view. It's how we fight those fights. Every time we back off even a little, they move the line. It's like football, right? We're playing defense. It's sad that we got to play defense on a right, but we got to play defense. Sometimes we got to play a little offense too. I'm not going to lie. But we don't want to let that line go backwards. We always want us to move forwards. Every time we say, I'll speak next time, they erase that line and draw a new one. The next time is now. So the next time you're tempted to shrug it off, don't. The more we normalize silence, the more they normalize control. You don't have to wear body armor to make an impact. Sometimes resistance is just showing up and not backing down in a conversation. Sometimes it's the only one in the room who won't nod along with the crap. Calling out the nonsense. Sometimes it's just living quietly and living free. Head up, rights intact, no apologize. So be the guy that refuses to comply. Be the girl that refuses to comply. Believe it or not, refusing to comply will help keep the peace. That's the sad thing, right? Because they want that control. Again, they want those criminals to break into your house and make you the victim. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have to be at that point. Be the woman who trains, speaks, and pushes back. Be the man that supports the woman to do that. Be the man that does it alongside of her. Be the man that does it, period. Be the parent that teaches your kids to question first and follow last. When I was a kid, I created so many problems in school that my parents had so many PTA meetings because I just asked why. I wanted to know. Why? Look, we're down here to like our last 30 seconds before I got to get logged into work and get to work. So I'm getting ready to make that right-hand turn into the parking garage. Look, the Rogue Nation isn't about cosplay and slogans. It's about how you move through the world. Live free, lead loud, and teach others to do the same. Because every time you act from principle, not pressure, you light the path for someone else. This has been your Tuesday morning drive, and if no one's told you today, you're not crazy. You're just awake in a world that wants you sedated. Train, build, reclaim. Welcome to the Rogue Nation.